Because I've been a space planner for so long, I very rarely have rooms that stump me or that I really struggle with, especially living spaces, which is why this room was a surprise that it was such a struggle. We have front door here, bedrooms here, kitchen, and dining. Now here's where it gets tough. This is a very old house, so we have a central fireplace and then built-ins under all of these windows, which leaves this L a very difficult space to work with. It can be usable storage and even a window seat, so we can't exactly block it, and we don't want to place a TV in front of windows, so it makes this wall almost unusable. Same issue with the fireplace wall. They do have their TV over their fireplace, which is very high, and they don't love it, but they're not sure of another place to put it. They could get a fireplace mount and bring it down, but that does bring the TV closer to you, and they do use this fireplace. Another wrench in the plans is that they would like an entry zone. They use this front door to come in the house every day, so they don't like that there's no buffer into the living space. They really do need a practical drop zone right when you enter. So this is actually a main path of travel in their day-to-day. These are our other paths of travel, which we can adjust. Whenever I see large amounts of voided space in between paths of travel, it tells me that we're probably going to be adjusting one or two. My first thought was this plan gives them a designated living zone and an entry zone. With the width of this room only being 15 feet, it does squish up the living room a lot, and also leaves a ton of voided space that we would have liked to use for, let's say, an entry, when this space is what they would get for their drop zone, which a path of travel is also included in. So I scrapped that plan and tried this one, and the problem with this one is that nobody's actually looking at a TV. Still did kind of open up into a living room setting, and this space is still voided, but we could fill that up with, let's say, a desk and a console table. But they don't really need anything extra other than seating, TV, and entry zone. Did end up trying about a dozen other ways, and there was always cons to every single one. This room is 30 feet long, which is double its width. So we're going to divide this room in half. Fireplace gets included in entry, and then we're going to have a TV zone, which to scale ends up looking like this. There were cons to every plan. This one had the least amount, and it hits every check mark of this client's wishes. We have a nice large entry drop zone, some extra seating over here with the built-ins that can be swivel chairs, a TV lounge zone, and a clear path of travel through this room. The cons are path of travel in front of a TV. However, only 2 people live here, so it's not going to be a major issue. And the other con I see is maybe the fireplace not being the focal point of the room, but I still see it as a nice feature for this room, a heat source, and adds to the character of their home along with these built-ins. A lot of times with a difficult space, it's about weighing the pros and cons and meeting the needs of the client. If I've met the needs of the client and it's a safe layout, then it can be a win.